Tjena allihopa! Yo, välkomna. Nu är det så att Cyberpunk har ju fått en deep dive här på YouTube, så vi tänkte vi skulle ta en liten live reaction med den då, och gå över vad de har sagt och så. Hoppas ni är taggade som jag. Det är ju trots allt det mest hypade spelet någonsin kanske, speciellt grafiskt. Jag är jävligt sugen på att se vad som har hänt sen vi såg det sist. Det mesta vi har fått är väl kanske en 45 minuters gameplay, om jag minns rätt. Men nu ska det tydligen vara i alla fall en kvart till med deep dive, och sen kommer det följas upp med en Q&A då, som sagt. Ja, så vi kör väl igång, eller vad säger ni?
Welcome, my name is Holly and I'm the UK Head of Communication here at CD Projekt Red, and I will be your host for today as we take a deep dive into Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to be showing you a video with new gameplay and new gameplay mechanics, and afterwards I'll be joined by three of our developers, Miles, Philip and Pavel, as we take a closer look at some of the things you're going to see and hopefully answer some of your questions. On behalf of everybody at CD Projekt Red, we're incredibly excited to share this new look at Cyberpunk 2077 with you.
Thank you. I'm very excited as well.
You all right?
Let's do this.
Give out with this shit.
Okay. What now?
Barré.
Johnny?
You barré? On a le plancher.
Det ser sjukt snyggt ut, Martin, och välkommen till streamen. Riktigt hype alltså.
Where are we?
Our BBS, Data Fortress.
Ooh, the Matrix.
Bridge to the deep net. Beyond there are no borders. Beyond the black wall.
Alltså musiken i det här spelet är sjukt.
Welcome to the Cyberpunk 2077 2019 deep dive video. In last year's gameplay reveal, we showed you our vision for the world of Cyberpunk 2077, its quests, and visual design. This year, we'd like to give you a peek at some of the playstyles you'll be able to adopt as your character progresses through the story.
Here goes nothing.
You're about to see sequences embodying two distinct approaches to playing Cyberpunk. We'll show you a strong solo build, that is, a character who focuses on employing blunt force and taking instant action. And a Netrunner build, a playstyle taking frequent advantage of stealth tactics, hacking, and battlefield control achieved using malicious software. Additionally, you'll learn more about Pacifica, one of the game's districts, two gangs, the Animals and the Voodoo Boys, and you'll see glimpses of Johnny Silverhand, the digital construct who
Keanu
haunts our main
Reeves
character,
in the house.
V. A word of caution. Given that the video covers a section of the game deep into the main storyline, we have edited the footage to contain as few spoilers as possible. Be aware
very
that
good.
the gameplay as presented does reveal characters and locations you'll see while playing the game's main story arc. So watch at your own discretion.
We will.
Where we headed? This way.
In this video, you'll experience a segment of a quest from the middle of the game. We're currently in Pacifica, one of Night City's 6 unique districts.
You know Pacifica well.
Nah. You guys aren't exactly great at rolling out the welcome mat for outsiders.
It was designed to be a tourist hotspot within the city. As you can see, this didn't pan out. When uncertainty struck the global economy, investors pulled their funding, leaving most establishments unfinished. It's one of those places where expectations and reality collided, resulting in a heap of disappointment. Ongoing gang wars plague this part of the city. Outsiders don't come here if they don't have to. Even by Night City's standards, it's dangerous to those unfamiliar with it. Taking a casual stroll here would not be a good idea. A fast
Akira
motorbike
bike.
or armor-plated car
Fan vad
would
fett.
be the safer option. But places like this have their advantages. If you're in need of rare goods or illegal cyberware, Pacifica's bustling local markets are a good place to start your search. The Grand Imperial Mall is a whole other story. It was one of the last developments in Pacifica to lose its funding. Until recently it stood vacant, but now a gang called the Animals has moved in for reasons unknown.
Something's not going right for the big guy up top.
And that's what we need to learn in order to earn the trust of the Voodoo Boys, the Animals' rivals.
What the hell?
Could fucking tell me what you plan to do first.
You take job. You do what I say. So you jack in now.
Damn.
Of the many gangs in Cyberpunk 2077, the Voodoo Boys are the most skilled at using the net.
You have now seen the Rezo Agwe, our subnet.
Why? What for?
You are my vessel now. Through Agwe, I see what you see, hear what you hear.
This mysterious gang of highly skilled netrunners has close ties to the local Haitian community.
You are V. We have been waiting.
Haitians settled in Pacifica in the 2060s after natural disasters struck their island and forced them to emigrate en masse. The Voodoo Boys gang formed around this same time, though at a smaller scale. Now the gang effectively rules Pacifica. The Voodoo Boys don't usually work with outsiders. Lucky for us, it seems they're prepared to make an exception this time.
Mr. Hand sent me. Said you got merc work needs doing.
Still, to earn their trust, we need to prove our worth. Placide, one of the Voodoo Boys' higher-ups, has offered us a mission. We need to infiltrate the Grand Imperial Mall, currently occupied by the Voodoo Boys' deadly enemy, a gang called the Animals.
2035-07. 3 seconds before, poof, the camionette. We try to learn where the camionette come from.
The Animals are not your normal gang. Their presence in Pacifica is suspicious. They value might above all else and wear melee combat implants to raise their prowess in combat. Their beverage of choice is juice, a potent strength and speed-enhancing concoction. As sought-after bouncers, they're usually dispersed throughout town. As skilled street-level business types, they've cornered the market in illegal substances and underground live-or-die prize fights. When they converge in one spot, it's for something big. It's then they appoint the fastest and strongest among them as their ad hoc leader. In this case, it's a woman named Sasquatch.
Said you wanted my vet.
Inside.
No. As far as I remember, you said no bone brain buffaloes on steroids. Afraid that's the cost of doing biz.
This is the tech Placide was talking about. It seems non-standard for the Animals. And this is where we come in. Getting to the van won't be easy, but we're more than qualified for the job, which we can complete in one of many ways. The character creation in Cyberpunk 2077 is the kind you'd expect from a full-fledged RPG. You start by choosing your past, important because this unlocks special options at important story junctures. You also fully customize your character using a deep customization system that spans not only your look and style, but also your abilities. Cyberpunk 2077 does not feature fixed classes. Instead, it has a fluid class system that allows players to mix and match a wide range of abilities to suit their playstyles. You can create a strong solo character, a skilled netrunner, or any other hybrid class you can imagine.
Boom!
Let's see how a solo playstyle in Cyberpunk 2077
Vad skulle ni vilja ha för
might work.
character build?
Solos prefer a direct approach. They use guns and might to get things done. So let's wreak some havoc.
The
With our
traditional
enhanced
assaults.
strengths, we can strip this turret of its weapons and give the animals a taste of their own medicine. This is how a
Verkligen
player
alltså.
investing in solo abilities might live out their Terminator power fantasy. Enhanced strength lets us force open doors or grab enemies to use as human shields. We also gain access to powerful melee combat cyberware. So even someone as fast and strong as Sasquatch, the leader of this group of animals, is not
Boss
impossible to
fight!
beat for a
Det är
solo.
nice.
But Sasquatch has a different game plan. She's out to jack in and hack us. Let's see how this plays out.
Ready for some fun? Proceed.
Det är coolt att
What's going
det
on?
verkar som att hon kan bli hacka oss eller inte kan. Och att det kan påverka storyn. Eventuellt. Eller kanske bara påverka fighten. Det känns som att spelet har så himla mycket val och möjligheter. Det kan ta vilken väg som helst.
It's our choice if we want to finish her off or spare her. Your Cyberpunk, your rules.
Damn.
If you'd rather sneak around, hide, and strike from the shadows, no problem. Just develop your net running skills to get around obstacles or hack into enemy tech to have it do the dirty work for you.
Hitman style.
Net running abilities mean hacking skills that let us use our cyber deck to breach access points. For this, we fill the buffer of our cyber deck with a string of instructions represented by these letters and numbers. Matching the instructions for basic access grants us control of devices connected to this network. The more instructions we match, the more control we gain over elements in the network. We can hack our way through in numerous ways. A quick hack may grant us control of the security camera. Another one should let us tweak the difficulty of the training bot to create a distraction.
Det där är coolt. Jäkligt coolt.
With our nanowire, we can even hack this guy's implants from a distance. In this world, almost everything is connected to a local network. And that means it can be hacked.
Ours is a wolf.
Som en classic Metal Gear gamer så blir det nog netbild
Which
för mig
brings
alltså.
us back to
Hacka är alltid
cyberspace.
roligt.
You don't get to do anything in the net unnoticed. There's always someone
Ja,
watching.
verkligen. Det
It
känns som
could
att man
be
kan göra det på
corpos or
1000
even
sätt där
worse,
alltså.
It could be Netwatch. And that is exactly the case here.
Frågan är hur många genomspelningar man orkar eftersom det säkert tar 100 timmar att varva det här spelet.
Netwatch and the Voodoo Boys are like fire and ice. The first of these wants to maintain the old order and protect people from AI anarchy originating from beyond the Black Wall. The Voodoo Boys want to establish contact with the free AIs. They believe this will enable their boundless expansion on the net.
Ja, det hade
and
varit
grant
lagom
them the
faktiskt.
upper
Men jag
hand
tror
over Netwatch.
längden kan nog
Netwatch
påverkas mycket av hur man
sees
själv
this as the end
spelar
of the
också och hur
world.
mycket tid man tar på sig.
Both are right.
Det går säkert att ruscha.
How you deal with the Netwatch agent is entirely up to you. Do we side with the gang? Choosing to be on Netwatch's bad side is never wise.
Men om man tänker på
Can
The
we
Witcher
really
så
trust the Voodoo Boys?
kommer det nog vara 100 timmar alltså.
As you can see, we have many possible options. But in each case, we take a risk.
Think I'll just stick to my plan.
Damn.
That didn't work out well. In the world of Cyberpunk, few things go as planned. And
Där
that
har
was
vi
just
han.
a glimpse of how complex the branching storyline in Cyberpunk 2077 can get. Every decision you make will have consequences. Your choices will shape how the world reacts to you and affect your relationships with those around you. One of those relationships is special. Ever heard of Johnny Silverhand, a rebel rocker boy who will be your companion throughout your adventure in Night City?
Come on, really think they give a rat's dick how you look?
Like everyone in Cyberpunk 2077, he has his own agenda. You'll decide if he'll be your ally or your enemy. And that chip in your head, the one thanks to which Johnny lives inside your mind. Well, that's a story for another time.
Nej, vi skulle få se den nu ju. Ja, det är galet alltså. Jävla bra musik. Boom! 16 april. Väldigt snart ändå.
Welcome back. Now, following the deep dive, there is an awful lot to talk about. So I
nu är det
found
Q&A
three
dags
of the
då.
very best. Oh, you're so happy. But I think just in case people aren't super familiar with Cyberpunk 2077, why don't you introduce yourself one by one so everybody knows who they're listening to?
Hey, I'm Miles. I'm one of the level designers at CD Projekt Red.
Hello, I'm Pavel, and I'm a lead of the Quest team, and it's a great pleasure to be talking to you.
So I'm Philip, and I'm one of their Quest designers, so I work really closely with Pavel over here.
Oh, thank you guys for being my participants in this video. Let's get started because the last demo we saw took place in Watson. This time we're in Pacifica. They're very different, and that's super important for Night City, that it feels different. So what do you need to consider as a level designer when you're building a place like this?
Right, we are diving right into it.
Yeah, let's go. People want to know answers.
Okay, I'm going. So, from a level design point of view, for us it's really important to create these districts, the 6 ones that we have in Night City, to be as different as possible without making it unbelievable, right? And we sort of orient ourselves around sort of how we approached let's say Skellige and Novigrad No Man's Land in The Witcher 3. So we're sort of aiming for a very noticeable difference. And this has multiple purposes, right? First off, we want to enhance the variety in the game, right? It would be kind of boring just to have a lot of the same throughout the entire city. We have one cityscape, so we need to create this kind of variety, and that's actually a really fun creative process as well. And
Vilken typ av
secondly, we need
stadsdel är
an
ni vill ha
engagement.
mest egentligen?
That means that
Jag skulle
when you
nog
as a player move around the
vill ha ett
city,
stort shoppingarea
you
med
should
typ
know where you are
minigames
simply by looking around. And
och
thankfully there's a lot of
klädaffärer, alla de
lore
där
that we
grejerna.
can
Typ
sort
som
of
ett
dissect
köpcentrum
and make our
basically.
own that helps us around, but we
Det har
also
varit
add our
riktigt
own
nice.
sort of twists to the whole thing, right? So in terms of Pacifica, we know that it's pretty
Tänk
pretty
Shenmue
fucked
typ.
up place,
Gambling
if
är
I can
roligt.
say so. And what I mean with that is that
Man lär ju kunna
it's
betta på
pretty
fighter och
noticeable
sånt där.
that it's almost post-apocalyptic, right? The district has a rich history that caused it to basically fall into disarray after it was initially meant to become the city's crown
Yes,
jewel
tack för att du kom in.
of
Ha det gött.
tourism. But clearly, as you can see from the footage, that actually didn't quite work out that way. And
Smaklig måltid.
now you'll actually see things like burning cars on the streets, right? And it's very deserted. So much unlike Watson that we showed last year, where the streets are bustling with people, here there's way less. Because it's simply a very dangerous place that you don't want to really go if you don't have to. And again, that's one of these things that once you enter the district from the rest of Night City, you'll actually notice that, right? And of course, all the destruction going on and all of the, suffering and pain.
Our favourite
and
things.
violence, as it were.
So what kind of things are exclusive to Pacifica? Because you don't want people to just come for the quest and then leave and that's it. You want people to keep coming back to this district. So what can people find there?
This is what I meant when I said it's a very fun process to think of these kind of things, because the sort of characteristics that we give the district directly sort of birth the things that you can find there, right? And amongst the destruction, you'll still find people living there, right? Pacifica is inhabited by a large Haitian community, and each district sort of has a kind of dominant gang who has taken over there. In the case of Pacifica, that would be the Voodoo Boys. And unlike the Maelstromers that we saw last year, the Voodoo Boys are actually deeply ingrained within the community that lives there. And they actually, they're not your typical sort of street gang in the sense that they don't really bring a lot of gunpowder to fight themselves, but they actually specialize in cyberspace. They're obsessed with the mysteries of cyberspace. They've sort of almost made it their own religion, if you will. And they have the reputation of being the best netrunners that you can find in Night City. And it's a very cool gang that V, of course, our main protagonist, will interact with in several ways. How? You will have to find out. And I mean, that's just one of many different ways you'll really experience Pacifica. As I said, all of these things together, the culture, the visuals, the architecture, and the history really will be very distinct to the district. At the same time, we're of course trying really hard to not make it feel disconnected, right? There's always a link. It should always be believable. That's one of the sort of core pillars that we build everything on. But this will make it for a very unique experience when you delve an adventure in this district compared to others.
And when looking at the stories that we'll be telling in this exact district, we always make sure that it always fits to the environment, to what we want to build. So, you know, the street stories that you will find, their side quests, and the main quest that is actually placed there, it always tells the story of the community, of the people, of the characters that are living there. And the Haitian community, right, they arrived actually in Night City because of the environmental changes that were happening in the world. Haiti is actually completely flooded, and they have left it. They arrived to Night City to build the district that Miles just talked about, and they were left out at the moment when the corporations withdrawn all the funding from the Pacifica. They were left there, and they built their own community there, and they gave the seed. They become the seed for all the stories that we're telling there. So as a player, when you're like investing, meeting all those characters and talking to them, you actually find out and learn more about them, you know, through the quests.
Perfect, but let's talk about the mall we just saw in the deep dive video, because that's not linear.
No.
So how do you design a non-linear level? You've got the building, you're thinking, right, well, the person who's playing on their game, they might have a more techie style of playthrough, but this person might want to go in all guns blazing. How do you design levels for all these different playstyles? Anything's possible.
Yes, yeah, we do give stuff that the player
Jag tror ju att det mesta de pratar om här är bara mycket dravel och väldigt lite information. De går ju egentligen bara igenom det vi har sett där, känns som. Så det är inte så mycket mer att se där. Men jag är lite nyfiken på den gamla gameplayen. Den har några intressanta stunder. För er som inte har sett det i alla fall, ska vi kolla lite på den här rackaren. Här får man ju en riktig deep dive. Mycket bättre än den vi såg nu.
Welcome to the gameplay demo walkthrough of CD Projekt Red's upcoming title, Cyberpunk 2077. A narrative-driven, open-world RPG set in a dark version of the future. Before we start, a small but important disclaimer. The gameplay you're about to see is from a work-in-progress version of the game. Everything you see is potentially subject to change. In Cyberpunk 2077, you can fully customize your character using a deep customization system. For this demo, we're going to play a female. Keep in mind that what you see here is not final. We just want to give you a glimpse of what will be possible in the released game. This is an RPG, so before we get into our appearance, we need to define our backstory. What you choose here will unlock different possibilities later in the game. Also, you can use an array of different options to modify how you look. These include body type, hairstyle, tattoos, makeup, skin tone, and many, many more. But visuals aren't everything. You'll also be able to customize your initial attribute setup. You'll notice we didn't pick a class. Cyberpunk 2077 features a fluid class system, and you'll be able to modify your class throughout the game. This demo takes place near the beginning of the game. V and her friend Jackie, along with a netrunner named T-Bot, are hired to find and retrieve a missing person, a girl whose locator implant went dark.
Almost clear. Go.
1237 on your right. Girls inside. Biomon's been down an hour. Better tell them.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person role-playing game. This perspective enables us to maximize your immersion.
Should have full access in 2.8 seconds. Reached it. Your turn.
Órale, lead the way, Jaina.
Alarms neutralized.
Fucking late. Is that her? That our target, V?
Room's too simple. Not our girl, I think. Keep looking.
It looks like these scavengers are kidnapping people to harvest their implants. Okay.
Det känns ju som att the attention to detail som finns i det här spelet är ju bra mycket grövre än vad det är i både Red Dead och en Call of Duty single player nästan till och med. Och det här är ändå en stor open world, så det är ganska imponerande alltså. Musiken här är ju sjuk också.
This is Kereznikov.
Jag har aldrig varit något stort fan av det här med att hålla på med sån här level på fienderna i ett skjutspel, typ som Borderlands också och liknande, när det kommer upp massa XP eller damage-siffror. Men i det här spelet av någon anledning så känns det mer naturligt.
Can't see shit! Got none to fucking use!
Room he's in looks out on the balcony. Got a window on the left. Go!
Boom. Ja. Nej, det ser onekligen fett ut i alla fall det här spelet. Och jävligt mycket hype över the upcoming game. Det är ju bara i april, så att det är inte så många månader kvar. Vi lär ju få se mer av det här innan det är över. Nej, inget spel idag. Idag är det Cyberpunk genomgång bara, som vi är klara med nu faktiskt. Men ja, tack för er som har tittat och för er som kollar i efterhand. Alltid trevligt att prata med er. Så hörs vi i morgon. Då kör vi Wreckfest. Och sen kör vi Man of Medan playthrough med Max i co-op. Och det kommer bli jäkligt fett. Ja, men tack så mycket. Vi syns imorgon.